Hello Alaxers and welcome back. Squid Game is still on the rise and going strong, gaining global recognition like no other TV show, with its original premise and lethal children's games. With a twisted plot and compelling characters, each episode of Squid Game contains several life lessons that we found valuable, so of course we've got to share them with you. But heads up, there's definitely a few spoilers coming, so if you haven't watched it yet but you plan on it, don't say we didn't warn you. Here are 10 lessons from Squid Game. Let's go. Number 1. When rich people have too much money, they get bored. Larry Ellison once said in an interview that he's kind of bored and there's nothing left for him to buy. He's splurged on jets, yachts, sports teams, thousands of art pieces, plenty of real estate all over the world, including houses, buildings, palaces, doomsday bunkers, and even entire islands. In this show, when you combine money, affluence, and a total disregard for human lives, you get a threatening survival competition, the Squid Game. Here, a bunch of rich people decided to kill their boredom by taking it to the next level and playing God with the lives of thousands of people without any shred of accountability for their actions. It's all an allegory for modern capitalist society. Thankfully, the real thing isn't as violent. Number 2. The choices we make in life determine our future. Red light, stop. Green light, go. Mechanic, blue collar. CEO, white collar. Single life, freedom and independence. Relationship life, love and commitment. Every single day we make life-altering choices whether we're aware of them or not. And all of the Squid Game participants make one such choice the moment they agree to play the Dokji game with a mysterious handsome stranger. Red tile, guard. Blue tile, player. None of them knew what they were getting themselves into, but they would soon find out that their greed and desperation sentenced them to a life-threatening game. Every choice is important. Never forget that. Number 3. Slow down. We can all agree on one thing. Constantly rushing through life isn't an effective way to live. In the Squid Game, this analogy is made crushingly clear as player after player pays the ultimate price for rushing ahead. The first game of Red Light, Green Light proved this right from the start. Proceed with caution if you want to outlast, and most importantly, don't panic. As soon as the first player missteps and experiences the consequence, players begin to panic and even more lives are lost in the chaos. Slowing down and keeping your cool can get you a lot further than you think. Number 4. Kindness comes back to you. Within the show is a strong focus on the importance of being kind to each other, no matter what state you're in or what status they may or may not have. Gi-hun treats the old man Il-nam with kindness, including him in the games and acknowledging him. Even though he didn't seem to like Se-byok at first, Gi-hun still offered her kindness when it mattered. His outlook of seeing these characters as friends first before competition is a light of hope in an otherwise dark drama they're all trapped in. The kindness pays off, like kindness always does, and it finds a way to bless the giver even more. Number 5. Brains can be a better asset than bronze when it's put to good use. Physical strength is nothing without strategy. In the tug-of-war game, Gi-hun's team is unequally paired with a team of strong young men. Despite being outmatched, his team manages to work out 2 ways to trip up their opponents during the game. Strategy and teamwork won the game, not just strength. Number 6. Be careful who you trust. Ali was proof that only being nice won't get you very far in life. That's the way human nature works. Of all the treachery and betrayal that happens in Squid Game, disgraced banker Cho Sang-woo's betrayal of Ali, the Pakistani worker, was the most gut-wrenching. We have to remember that some people will exploit your kindness for their own selfish reasons, just because they can. Unfortunately, the world is full of people like this. That's why it's so important to be a source of good in the world, and the best way to do that is to strive for personal growth. Learn what's holding you back by checking out another one of our videos next. 10 toxic beliefs that keep you from growing. Number 7. The yin-yang factor. In ancient Chinese philosophy, the yin-yang is a concept of dualism, of how opposite forces are interconnected and interdependent in the natural world and in us humans. As you guessed it, we have this dualism in the show as well. We have balance, Song Gi-hun. We have the bad in the good, Cho Sang-woo. We have the good in the bad, Oh Il-nam. We have the good, Ali. And we have the bad, Jang Dok-soo. And if annoying was a human, we have Han Min-yo. Number 8. Greed and desperation brings out the worst in people. The slow burn of Sang-woo's vicious side shows the worst side of us, the side that greed and desperation reveal. He pushes fellow players to their death in the penultimate game. Before the final game begins, he murders the injured and defenseless Se-byuk. Even Gi-hun is tempted to set aside his morals in his desperation. He makes use of Il-nam's unfortunate memory loss to trick him to win their game of marbles. It's easy to think you'll never have to compromise your morals like this, but the only surefire way to avoid it is to ensure you don't expose yourself to such a desperate situation by making sure your wealth and health are secure. Number 9. Don't lose hope in humanity. Overall, the inhumanity on display in the series is hard to stomach and still walk away feeling hopeful for anything. But if you think about it, the final confrontation between Il-nam and Gi-hun can inspire some hope for humankind. The two make one last wager. Will someone come to save a homeless man freezing on the street before midnight? Hope is restored when people do come to help the man, showing Gi-hun that there is good left in the world. In turn, this inspires him to fulfill his promise to look after his friends' families and take down the game. Life can seem really harsh, but there's always reason for hope. Sometimes it just requires a shift in perspective if you can't see the light. Number 10. After you win your current game in life, you can alter the future and choose a new path. If you guys remember, Song Gi-hun dyed his hair red at the end of the season, making a statement that his eyes were open and he was ready to take responsibility for his life and choices. Red is a power play in Korea, a masculine dominant color, and if you're associated with this color, it sends a message that you mean business and you're one badass SOB. Whether you signal it loud and proud about your new path, or are keeping your cards close to the chest, you're the one calling the shots. Always pick your path wisely. And Luxers, that's a wrap on Squid Game's most valuable lessons, but there are definitely more and we're hoping you could help us out with that. What valuable lessons did you pick up from the show? Did anything really make you think long and hard about life? Join the conversation in the comments and we'll be right there with you. And if you stuck around waiting for a bonus, oh gosh, you just know us so well. Today's bonus is addiction is real. One thing all the Squid Game players had in common is that they are heavily debt-ridden. Addiction has real consequences, and Gi-hun is paying the price for his gambling addiction. He's in debt, virtually estranged from his child and unable to help his sick mother. His only option is to put his life on the line and try to win some money through joining the game. He's in such a bad place that even after the first game ends in a massacre, he's still forced to return trying to win the money. Addiction is something that can be easily shrugged off or misunderstood, but in reality, it's something that should always be taken seriously. There's no shame in seeking help or treatment. In fact, it shows nothing but pure strength. Take care of yourself and those you love, Luxers. We'll see you back here tomorrow.